this is Darrin from Got Chops Guitar Services. I'm going to be talking to you today about power chords. Now, you probably already know the standard power chord. This shape here. You got your first finger on the lower string, and then you skip a fret and go down to the next string. So in this case, I'm playing on the 7th fret of the 6th string, the E string, and I'm playing on the 9th fret of the 5th string, the A string. That's a B. So that's B5 power chord. They refer to it as B5. But that's just the tip of the iceberg of stuff that you can do with power chords. I'm going to show you some of the different variations there are with power chords and things you can do. They're pretty cool and hopefully will expand your playing arsenal a little bit. So let's get down to it. That interval is called a fifth. The distance from this note, B, to this note, F sharp, if you play up through the major scale, it is the 5th tone away from the root note. Aside from fifths, you can also do power chords as fourths. Now, when you do a fourth, it's the same two notes. It's just now, instead of having the lowest note being the B and the higher note being the F sharp, now the F sharp is the lower note and the the B is the higher note. Now, a lot of times there are songs that are played just with the fourths and people will mistake it for fifths. Probably the biggest thing that I see is people will play Smoke on the Water and they'll do it this way. Right notes, wrong intervals. It's not fifths, it's fourths. So the first chord is G and D, G5. But if we make the D the lower note and G the higher note, just by playing the D and the G string open, the other kind of power chords you can do that really makes things a lot more interesting, instead of just using the 4th and the 5th, which are what they refer to in intervals as perfects, is to use thirds. When you use thirds, that's a major interval, so if you flatten it, you can get minor. You flatten the third, you get a minor, just like a standard chord is made up of the root, 3rd, and 5th. We're just going to play the root and the 3rd. And if by switching between major thirds and minor thirds, you get variances in sounds. See, that's a major third, minor third, minor third. Another good one to use is the diminished fifth, and that's when you take your 5 chord and you flatten the 5 a half of a step. I've arranged a little chord progression here I want to show you. Just gives you an example of using fifths, diminished fifths, fourths, and thirds. Anyway, it goes like this. Okay, so I take the first chord, instead of just doing just your standard fifths based off of off of E and D. The first chord is a fifth. The second chord is a diminished fifth. Third chord is a perfect fourth, so it's E4. Now I come down to the D, I do a major third, and then a perfect fourth. So the roots of the chords don't change but twice. We go E and D. Anyway, I hope that helps you out with your power chords. Maybe, helps you to have a little bit, broader spectrum of how you can use them and stuff in your playing and in maybe the riffs that you create and come up with and stuff. Until next time.